Now, for the moment you guys have been waiting for, is the panelist session. I'm sure you all are very excited. We have a bunch of very intriguing, very enlightening panelists here who are at the top of their game in their Toastmaster and even public speaking journey. And here I will start us off with the first panelist, who is named Arnold Nciko. I would also like for the SAA to share the screen of Arnold Nciko's bio so that we can also get a feel. Thank you so much. Arnold, can you also turn on your video so that we can see you? Are you around?
My video is on.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Nciko. Okay. So Nciko Arnold is a graduate assistant at the Strathmore University Law School. He has a passion for academia and dreams about affecting change in his country, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Yes, he is representing the DRC. He has served as an academic representative for his university's 10th Student Council and is the immediate former editor-in-chief of the Strathmore Law Review. Through his time in Strathmore Toastmasters Club, he served first of all as the Sergeant at Arms, then Vice President of Membership, and ended up as the President. Wow, talk about a ladder to success, ladies and gentlemen. And I am proud to say that I was there while Nciko was our President, and he did a marvelous job. Now, we on to the questions. You don't have to keep sharing the screen, SA. Thank you so much. Now, Nciko, it says there that you've graduated and you are an undergrad for law school. Now, besides being a great liar, obviously, how has Toastmasters helped you get a command of the language, of the English language, despite not being a native speaker? Please, Arnold, if you could unmute yourself, tell us more.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Alexis, Lady Alexis. Thank you very much for that introduction, though you try to overdo it a bit. Yeah, it is really unfortunate that we do not have the chance to do this face-to-face, to do this physically. I believe that human interactions, the laughter, the hugging, the sound of someone talking, cannot really be replaced. Nonetheless, it is my great pleasure to share the screen with all of you today, especially our friends from JKUAT. Now, in terms of how Toastmasters has impacted my life, I don't know whether there is a way of explaining that without telling you a bit of my story, without looking at what some would call historical continuities, how events were following each other. As Lexi said, I'm from the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. And for those of you who know a bit about the DRC, we are a French-speaking country. So I did my high school in the Congo, and it was in French. Then I had to come to Strathmore to do law in Strathmore. Law is all about speaking, really. I mean, speaking sense. But then this time, this has to be done in English. So my first year was really challenging, and I almost dropped out. I have to confess that. Then I met this club called Toastmasters, the Toastmasters Gavel Club in Strathmore University. I was invited for a meeting, and I just attended. Now, you know, my issues are not the normal issues, the common issues. You can speak the language, but then you just need to know how to structure your things, how to speak in a compelling manner. Mind what to do also with the language itself. But Toastmasters really assisted me on that. So we were moving into our long holidays. They're usually 4 months, and I just joined the Strathmore Toastmasters Club. So I delivered my CC1. I was mentored. Yeah, Toastmasters again is really all about mentorship. So I had really a great mentor. Her name is Angela Rayea from Kwanzaa Toastmasters Club, and she's the patron of this club. She mentored me from my CC1. and my CC2, and things really started working really well. And then the other thing that I really got from Toastmasters before I really get to the core of how it has impacted my life is the exposure that the club has given me. So I could be invited to speak, for example, in fully fledged Toastmasters clubs, such as SEMA Toastmasters Club, Kwanza Toastmasters Club. And at one point, I had to speak at the World Bank Toastmasters Club. Then when the former president of Toastmasters International Worldwide was in visit in East Africa, I delivered a speech before him. This exposure, I believe, has been really important, especially for my career. A case in point is that I had to do an industrial attachment looking for an internship. So I went to the World Bank, the IFC, which is really part of the World Bank, and I was applying there. Part of the people who had to interview me, one of them had me speak during one of their meetings. You can already see like you already have a plus from there. And now, even now going back to school, this is now second year law school. Remember, like in first year, I could not really speak. I could not really do anything with the language, but I came back with somehow some kind of command of control over the English language. And then in law school, we do a lot of presentations, and then even your classmates could give you like positive feedback. You are really doing well. What did you do? What happened? What did you do to your language? And even some of them started coming to the club and have never left, I believe, till today, just because of the change that they could see. Now, currently, I'm working as a graduate assistant for my university, our law school, and this is really an academic position. Then you may wonder, how did you get there? Toastmasters, remember, is all about leadership and communication. So in terms of leadership, again, you are really, you know your stuff, preparation and everything, you are ready, you understand. So I could run for positions, for example, in my university academic representative, because I was able to speak. I'm not scared of anyone. I know all I need to do is to prepare a speech which is going to touch everyone. And Toastmasters really gives you the key components, the key tools that can empower you in terms of buying the audience into what you are saying. Why should they listen to you? Toastmasters gives you that. Also, like key qualities like listening to people. So it provides you like things like how to come up with a powerful introduction. We are about, I think, around 70 people in this meeting right now. But if I'm to talk to you about HIV and AIDS, why should you listen to me? We all know about HIV and AIDS. Why should you stop what you're doing just to listen to someone, probably your age mate, speaking of HIV and AIDS? And this is where Toastmasters come in. How can you come up with a really powerful introduction? So you may use something close to this. We are about 70 people in this room. And according to a study done by the JKUAT Toastmasters Club, statistics shows that 7 of us are going to die of HIV and AIDS at the end of this month. See, everyone is already in shock. They want to hear more. What is this person saying? You already have their attention. And then you can even shock them more. This makes me wonder, is that going to be me or you over there? Once you have their attention, this is really Toastmasters at work. You can now start and tell them what you wanted to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, HIV and AIDS is a serious issue that we are facing as a society today. Allow me to share with you this evening 3 tips that are going to help us fight this problem that we are facing as a society. And then you go on in your speech, and at the end, again, a powerful conclusion. And these are things that you really get from Toastmasters, and you won't get them from class, from your family. You have to be part of a club. And I believe we are really lucky to have the Strathmore Toastmasters Club, the JKUAT Toastmasters Club. And now these collaborations are really important because it means as well that Arnold can be mentored by someone from JKUAT. We can also mentor someone from JKUAT. We are really like increasing our capacities. Anyway, back to my point. This is an academic position. So for you to really get it, you need to do a number of papers, writing papers. A paper has to make sense in as much as it's long. And for it to really make sense, it has to flow like a story. And our speeches really in the Toastmasters Club, they are more or less in forms of stories. So you can do the proper research and all that, but how do you make it flow? How do you communicate your findings? So first, the skills that you have in terms of writing your speech can really assist you in this. And then after that, you have to present probably your findings in a conference. So I had to present my papers in a number of conferences, but then again, the same skills apply. How do I get the audience engrossed into what I'm saying? Toastmaster is already there. You know how to go about these things. You are not shaking. You are fully confident. You've rehearsed the things that you're going to talk about. And even when you are to answer a question, you'll know again how to introduce your answer, how to have a body of your answer, and how to conclude again. So this is really Toastmasters at work. I can keep on speaking till tomorrow because what Toastmasters have really done in my life is really is significant. Even the leadership positions that I got right after or during my Toastmasters experience, they are really informed by the tools that the Toastmasters Club has equipped me with. I'm sorry I've taken so much of your time to just tackle one question.
No,
Let me
thank
stop
you
there.
so much. Yeah, thank you so much. I think we have gotten so many takeaway points from you. You know, before we started this meeting, you told me that you weren't prepared. So if this is you not prepared, I wonder how you would be when you are prepared. That was truly amazing. You talked about how you'd prefer if this was face to face, and I think we all agree with that. And sometimes I think when you're speaking, it's like you're speaking directly to all of us. I think we should all give Arnold Nciko another round of applause for the well-articulated answer. He even taught us about HIV and AIDS and how Toastmasters you have to be compelling. He's brought out so many points that have been very well and eloquently brought out. The next question, a bit of a fun question. And I've noticed you're such a progressive speaker. I love that about you. So I guess would all like to know as well. Is there any embarrassing moment that has happened with you during one of your speeches? Because I know sometimes you may have planned, but then the words leave your brain, leave your mind, they escape you completely, and that happens to so many of us. So was there an embarrassing moment that happened, and how did you recover from that or not? Please, you have the floor again.
Wow, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Does Toastmasters nowadays, does it allow the use of curse words?
Yeah.
Maybe we start from there.
Okay, you can beep yourself. You know, you can censor yourself. You don't want to say.
Anyway, yeah, thank you. So there was this one time, of course, my Toastmasters journey has not been, it's been good. At the end, when you look back, you understand that failures are really important, part of like this journey. So there was this speech. It was my second speech. And for those of you who have familiarized themselves with the competent communications manual, the CC2 is about the structure, a proper introduction, maybe three key points that you're going to talk about, the first one, the second one, the third one, and then these points have to feed into each other. There has to be a logical flow. So I was delivering this speech. It was based on a certain book, The Outliers. Yeah, I remember the details, but that's really beside the point. But you understand that you have to give your first point, which leads you to your second point, which is going to lead you to your third point. So I delivered my first point. Then I went to my third point. It was now difficult to come back to the second point. So I'm there. I don't know exactly how to go back. The silence is there. The audience has realized that something is off, that you've forgotten your speech. And then it really tells a lot about whether they can even trust what you are saying because you're just like a small cramming machine. You've come there, you cram things, and then now you've forgotten, you can't move on. So the words that came out of my mouth were, fuck, I can't do this anymore. And had like 54 people in attendance on that day. Now, the worst part is that I didn't even realize that I was cursing. Then the president could encourage me, keep going. Of course, we all know that Toastmasters is a supportive environment. Then I could utter the same words. Fuck, I can't do this anymore. I was not realizing that I was saying these words because the way I was learning English when I came to Kenya was through movies. And there's this series that I've been watching, which I really like a lot, don't judge me, Power. And you know the kind of language which is there. And I imitate a lot. So I kept on uttering these words during the meeting. And then when I went to sit, then a friend of mine told me, when you said fuck for the first time, I knew there was no coming back. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I was popular in my school for the wrong reasons. So you could see you are passing by, people are really looking at you, and you are like, okay, I know, I know, I know. But then the duty is Toastmasters again will give you the chance to redeem yourself. So after that, so I've done my first speech. This is the second one, which has gone south. Then I volunteered to be the Toastmasters of the day. This was like really early and it was really great. The delivery was really great. And then you could see somehow from the audience's faces that they have forgiven you. So that was one. The other one was at Kwanzaa Toastmasters Club. So I went there. So the introduction was the amazing Arnold is going to deliver, I think, in CC2 or CC3. Then I didn't meet the objectives of the speech. So the person evaluating me, I don't know whether she was rude, but after that, she mentored me for my following speech. So she started, amazing Arnold. She was being sarcastic before destroying my whole speech. Again, you feel really inferior, like all the praises. You see, like the way Alexis has been introducing us in here. So all those titles, all that for poor delivery. Again, you really feel embarrassed. But as I said, all this is a journey. You get to learn along the ways. And I think we should be conscious of the fact that failures are part of all this.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I think I can say for all of us here that we were all shocked by the words that were used and how embarrassing that must have been for him. Thank you for being so open and vulnerable with us. And now we know, don't baby, I did not forget you are the birthday boy of today. We will sing for you at the end. Please remember, do not leave because we will sing for him at the end. But like tell you, happy birthday, Nciko. I think you're 23 years old. Thank you so much for the
I'm 24. I'm 24.
Oh, 24. Wow.
I'm not that young.
So you're old. Okay, I did not know. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for the well-articulated speech. You've given us so many insights. Thank you, thank you, thank you.